नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सर्वदा श्रीशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामी नाम। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी परिचारिणे विशेष पाश्चात्य वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य यो। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you. I was told quite a few are busy today with various things, so perhaps the attendance today may be a little less, but the pleasure of the Lord and the devotees, we will continue our discussion on the Srimad Bhagavat. We are discussing today Canto 8, Chapter 8. We are discussing the chapter entitled Churning of the Milk Ocean. So we have come to that chapter, which is part of this saga of the Samudra Manthan Leela, where the nectar emerges. So we have come to the most important scene. This whole saga is one where the Devatas, being frustrated after being driven out from the heavenly planets because of the mistake of Indra, take shelter of Lord Brahma. They go to the beach on the bank of the Milk Ocean, pray and pray, and the Lord eventually appears and gives the message that I want you to churn the Milk Ocean. And from there, things will develop. Essentially, you have to work for Amrit. And that will. Krishna doesn't even tell, I mean, Lord Narayan, Lord Hari, Lord Vishnu, Shirodakshya Vishnu, doesn't even tell them in detail. This will happen, then this will happen, then this will happen. It just gives them broad directions. Broad directions. Churn the ocean of milk. Make truce. Not a good idea to fight with the demons right now. Truce with them. Take their help. You cannot do this job alone. Take their help. Get together. Churn the ocean of milk. The Amrit will come. The Amrit is meant for you. Don't worry. We will, it will work out. So with this broad directions, the Lord sent them. And they didn't even know how exactly it's going to play out. The Lord doesn't give a script. Even to the Devatas. Sometimes in our own lives, we expect Lord, you tell me upfront what all is going to happen, what all challenges, how and everything. That's not the Lord's style. The Lord doesn't give script and say, here it is, Prabhu, Mataji, take this, follow this script. The Lord expects his devotees in pursuit of his broad instructions, either coming through Guru or from the Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastra, to pursue that and moment to moment, using one's God-given intelligence and the spiritual intelligence we have acquired from Guru Sadhu Shastra, surrender to him in every moment as the will of the Lord unfolds. There is suspense for everyone. No matter how great you are, whether somebody is Lord Shiva or whether we are ordinary sadhakas, which most of us are, this is the Lord's style. So please do not get frustrated. Sometimes, we expect in our own journeys that, Lord has to give us a preview every time before, some major things are about to unfold. Sometimes the Lord may give, that is at his own discretion. It's not that he never gives. But the general way the Lord handles or oversees his devotees, all over from the top to the bottom, the greatest of souls to the ordinary sadhakas, we all have to wait for the Lord's will to unfold. Because the Lord's will is so all-encompassing. You have to understand, when we talk about the Lord's will, sometimes we are so self-centered that we think that the Lord's will has to roll out for us. But just like we are praying to the Lord, 1,000 other devotees are praying to the Lord, 100 million other non-devotees are also, non-devotees means materialistic people are also praying to the Lord. And everybody's karma also has to play out in a particular way. We cannot even imagine how complex that equation is. Each of us is expecting it to play out exactly the way, we want it. So the Lord has to accommodate everyone's karma, everyone's prayers, and his own grace, everything together, and he unfolds his will dynamically, moment to moment. It is our duties as his humble, surrendered servants to accept that will moment to moment as he reveals it. How does he reveal it? Through what is happening around us. Seeing it all as the manifestation of the Lord's will and dealing with it in the most Krishna conscious. Because whether the unfolding of the will is pleasant at an external level or unpleasant, everything, every moment, every incident, every situation has the potential, if we have the right consciousness and attitude, for us at least spiritually to turn it to our favor. That's a conviction we must have. That's something which you have to understand. I'm repeating again, this is very important concept. Whether externally the situation is favorable or unfavorable to our body, mind, material intelligence. And on an external level, things may be not particularly good. So good and bad from a physical, mental perspective will continue. That is the nature of the material existence. We are the dualities of the modes. But we can turn every situation, good or bad, to our advantage spiritually. I'm not saying that, necessarily, like materialists, we have to be successful. Materially, there may be success. Sometimes materially, there may be defeat. Even the greatest of devotees have also faced both kinds of situations, including temporary reversals. But those who take shelter of the Lord and deal with every situation with the right consciousness can ensure through this attitude that every moment, every situation, they can continue to make positive spiritual advancement, because there's no material obstacle to spiritual advancement. This is also a concept which is so hard to understand. There is no material obstacle to spiritual advancement. Whether one is rich or poor, whether one is healthy or sick, whether one has the means or doesn't have the means, whether one is very skilled to render service or doesn't have the necessary talent or skills. Based on one's attitude and consciousness, if there is the right endeavor, the right attitude and consciousness, in every situation, one can make spiritual progress. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. That is the art of doing work. Art of doing work, as Krishna says, is not the art of how to best at a skill level do something, but that every activity one does is so spiritually aligned with the highest reality and our highest welfare, for the pleasure of Guru Krishna and for the welfare of everyone, that every moment becomes a progressive step closer and closer towards the Supreme Lord. So that is the consciousness we all have to work towards. That is the consciousness of the perfected soul. Even in the perfected soul's life, externally things may go positively, negatively. Sometimes his health may get spoiled. Sometimes we may think, oh, Krishna should protect him. But this may not work like that. And Krishna's inconceivable plan is so difficult to understand. Who can explain why the Lord allowed some of the devatas to get crushed under the mountain, the Mandar hill, before he lifted it and again then brought them back to that? Only the Lord knows exactly why he wanted certain living entities to undergo certain experiences. His own infinite wisdom. So those who have that faith, those who have that understanding, and those who live their lives in that consciousness, they are the blessed souls. And those who have that kind of a consciousness, that kind of consciousness is even higher than the consciousness of the devatas. Because not even most of them, I wouldn't say that all the devatas, few amongst the devatas have that kind of consciousness. But the vast majority are not yet there. They're still karma mishra bhaktas. They are not in the situation to see, to appreciate every moment as the perfect opportunity to surrender to Krishna, which is being presented. Krishna is presenting every moment to those who are sincerely trying to make spiritual advancement. But oftentimes we are spurning it away. Spurning it away in the sense that we are not dealing with it in the way that one should deal for maximum spiritual benefit. So this is a very, very deep principle to contemplate on it. It is definitely not easy, but that is where, because we cannot expect the ocean to be calm. This material world will keep going up and down. What we have to do is, our consciousness doesn't go up and down as the waves of the ocean go up and down. Sthita pradnya, fixed consciousness at the lotus feet of the Lord. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmana tushta sthita pradnya. And one is not too excited about the material up and downs. He is perfectly satisfied in the realization of his self as an eternal servant of the Lord, and accepts everything and just keeps on. Pratyena kampam susumikshmano bhunjanamevatmakritam vipatam. Vidvag vapubhir vidatam namaste jivetayom padesavayana. So we have to, in our own spiritual evolution, come to that point. At least initially, intellectually understand it. appreciate it and know how it is not that at one point through Krishna consciousness everything will become smooth in life. It never happens for anyone. What to speak of anyone else? Even when the Lord personally appears, out of his own sweet will, he designs his own life also in such a way, his own pastimes. Not forced by material nature, but by his own sweet will. His Leela is such a way, it's continuously up and down. You see Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. You see Lord Krishna Chandra's pastimes. From an external perspective, so many ups, downs, ups, downs. I mean, our lives are so much more, relatively speaking, stable as compared to the challenges that these great personalities went through. But how they are examples of such perfect poise. Lord Ramchandra, was he ever disturbed, agitated? Such perfect character. Lord Krishna. Oh, this is so amazing. So the Lord is also displaying through his pastimes. But what we want through devotion, through following pure dharma, is to bring our level to a level of consciousness to a transcendental consciousness. Our job is not to fix material nature. Our job is to not want a situation where everything in this external world will be perfect. No, the world is not designed for it, and the Lord is not going to adjust the world for you like that. If you don't like this world and the characteristics of the world, then we have to transcend it and go to the world where there is no misery. Vaikuntha. That is the solution. You can't be trying to fix this world. It's not going to get fixed. It is by design like this. It is not a fault of God. It is the design of God. Anyway. So we went also through this beautiful episode. Why I'm mentioning this is how the Lord's plan is so unpredictable. By the Lord's instruction, they are churning. When following the Lord's instruction, everything didn't go smooth. We spoke about how the mountain collapsed, then the snake came, Vasuki, he was emitting fire and poisonous fumes, and that became a big problem. Finally, Halahala came. They were continuing, but no, like the Lord personally instructed and promised. We are doing so long, nothing happening. Correct? Instead of nectar coming, what came out? Poison. Normally, when such kind of things happen in the lives of devotees who are not fixed up, they'll usually abandon the whole process. I have faith in the Lord, but see, instead of auspiciousness, my life has become inauspicious. And that is one of the reasons not most common people are hesitant, especially to surrender to Lord Vishnu and more so to Krishna, because Krishna is very unpredictable in his dealings. Because Krishna is not just transactional. Okay, you do this puja, you give me this. Okay, next time I need you, I'll call you and I'll tell you what exactly to do. I will give you the puja, tapasya, and that's why the asuras never go to Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is not transactional in that sense. Not that he cannot give and not that he does not give, but his whole style is very different. So anyway, that's a very big topic. Most of you are aware of this subject, so I'm not going to go into that. So poison comes. And they have to run to Lord Shiva and take his shelter, and Lord Shiva saves them. And we discussed last time this beautiful verse of those who undergo trouble for the cause of the welfare of other living entities. There is no greater worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead than that. Correct? To undergo trouble for oneself for the welfare of others means I will do something and I will trouble myself, but the welfare is not for me. The welfare is for others. Huh? Like Prahlad Maharaj prays, right? We were discussing in the seventh. Oh Lord, there are many who are eager to go back home, back to Godhead and be liberated. But as for me, my request to you is, as long as there is even one person in this material world who is foolishly trying to enjoy the senses, I want to come back to this world again and again and again to preach to them and to help them to become your devotees. This is very extreme. We wouldn't dare to pray like that. Even generally, other liberated souls would also not dare to pray like that. And one should not make these kind of prayers unless one is very, very serious and capable of handling. Just in case Krishna says, okay, it will be a, you are not up to it, it will be a big problem. Sometimes, the Lord takes our prayers very seriously. And sometimes when we may ask certain things and the Lord may just give, should also be careful in terms of what we ask. So poison came first. And why we are mentioning this is, we discussed this briefly the last time also, of how initially when we start the process of Krishna consciousness, before the nectar comes, the poison comes out first. So that's also another test for the devotees. That is why we need guidance so that we don't become bewildered. I came here for the nectar, and what am I getting instead? I'm getting poison. So the reality always is that before the good can come, we have to get rid of the bad. Correct? So just like some of us may go to the gym, at one point we realize we are overweight. And we say, okay, now I'm going to go to the gym. I want to become chiseled and. But initially, for a long time, going to the gym, you not really see any muscles. Why? Because there is so much fat covering the muscles that until that fat is removed, the anartha of fat is removed, the muscles will not reveal themselves. So if one says, oh, nothing is happening, might as well I give up my exercise. What is the point? So one has to be guided how the process works. So destruction of anarthas and cultivation of artha is the process in almost every field. Which means you remove obstacles to your goal and you cultivate those things which are conducive to your goal or take you towards your goal. That is the standard process. Spiritual life is no different. So Lord Shiva came to the rescue and Lord Shiva drank all the halahala. Lord Shiva is so wonderfully glorified. We discussed the prayers glorifying Lord Shiva in the last class. So after having gone through all these challenges, and especially after this challenge, which was perhaps the biggest danger, the halahal poison, the devatas and the asuras finally, they got a bit enthused after the halahal was taken care of. It is said they were so happy and enthused and they had survived all these crises. Both the demons and the devatas started churning the ocean with a renewed vigor. And now, after so long, slowly the good things started appearing from the churning of the milk ocean. The first auspicious item to appear from the ocean churning is the Surabhi cow. So, there is a sequence now that we are entering in this particular section where different items come. And as soon as these different items come or emerge from the churning, these items, there are so many devatas, demons, Lord Tree is there and sages are there and so many kind of living entities. Practically all the administrators of the universe have gathered there for this mammoth task. So as various gifts are coming, various individuals are claiming them. I want this. I want this. Of course, the ultimate goal is for everyone is Amrit. But before Amrit comes, various other things are coming. So that is the interesting narration. So first Surabhi comes. Devatas and demons, I mean, Devatas like cows, but they are not the top ones. They are not the cowherds. So the great sages are expert in Vedic sacrifices. They immediately said, we want this Surabhi. Why? Because this Surabhi cow who's so dear to Lord Hari continuously gives unlimited milk. And we need unlimited milk, not because we want to drink and eat and sell and set up a dairy farm, but we want to produce top quality butter and yogurt and ghee so that we can perform Vedic sacrifices for spiritual advancement and for the welfare of. This is very important. And that is one of the reasons cow is such an important part of the Vedic culture. If there are Go and Brahman, cows and Brahmans, and they are taken care of automatically because the Brahmanas will both guide spiritually as well as perform various dharmic rituals properly. The whole system of the devatas will be satisfied and all the various aspects and dimensions of material nature will be taken care so that there is overall prosperity and peace for society. Krishna discusses this whole topic in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Not going to go into it. So, one very important thing, Surabhi cow. Nobody protested. Everyone agreed, yes, yes. Surabhi cow is best taken by the great sages. After that, a very, very amazing, beautiful horse emerged from the churning of the milk. It is said that horse was white and shining like the moon. His name is Uchchaishravas. Everyone was very attracted. Indra was also very attracted, and Bali Maharaj, his horse, if kings are very fond of horses. So Bali Maharaj said, immediately said, I want the horse, Uchchaishravas. Lord Indra was thinking, I want the horse, such a beautiful horse. But even before he could say that, Lord Vishnu indicated to Indra, right, don't say anything. Let him have it. Keeping faith in the indication of the Lord. Correct? Sometimes the Lord will just tell the devotee, this is not for you. This seems very attractive. You just wait. I have something better for you. Just wait. The Lord didn't tell him what he has to wait for, but based on faith, the just didn't bother and he said, okay, Bali Maharaj, you want to take? Bali Maharaj is very happy. Yes, I got practically the best horse in the three loka. Immediately after this, emerged from the milk ocean a huge white elephant by the name Airavat. Very powerful. 4 tusks. And so huge and so powerful. It is said Airavat is so powerful that his power is such that it defies the glories of Mount Kailas, the abode of Lord Shiva. Kailas is considered like practically the immovable. Hardly anybody can move Kailas. Airavat is of the power that rivals the glories of Mount Kailas. Ravan was so glorified because he was so powerful, he could lift Kailas along with Lord Shiva and Parvati sitting on it. So that's an interesting episode. Anyway, so this Airavat, when he came out, Indra claimed, I want. And Bali Maharaj had just taken the horse. Yeah. Airavat was definitely a better deal because in battle, what is better? A horse on an elephant. You are seated on an elephant, you are at a more advantageous point than you are sitting on a. So the Lord, in that way, in this way, he was guiding. He didn't give a pre-planned script up front, but he will guide the devatas at the right time. You let this go. Now, next time, now you take this. So Indra got the famous Airavat. Thereafter, it is said, 8 elephants, also very powerful, not as powerful as Airavat, but also very extraordinary powerful elephants. It is said they were so powerful they could go in any of the 8 directions, which means they were almost, you can say, like flying elephants, not just ordinary walking elephants. Anywhere they want. So obviously they were divine elephants. The main elephant of these 8 is known as Airavana. And there were also 8 female elephants headed by Abhramu. They also came. It is not particularly mentioned who claimed them. So that information is not available, at least here. Maybe it's mentioned elsewhere, but there is nothing mentioned here. After this, from the churning of the milk ocean, came the very, very celebrated gems, these 2 very, very precious gems, the Kaustubha Mani and the Padmaraga Mani. So they were used by Lord Vishnu himself. This is my property. This comes to me. So that Kaustubha gem decorated the chest of Lord Vishnu, and also the Padmaraga Mani was also taken by Lord Vishnu. So sometimes we may wonder, what happened? Did Lord not have Kaustubh Mani before that? Kaustubh Mani, isn't it an eternal part of the Lord's paraphernalia? Yes, it is. In the Vaikuntha worlds, the Kaustubha Mani is always decorating. But when the Lord appears in various universes, he performs these pastimes where his Sangha, Upanga, Astra, Parshad come and meet him and come to a point where they come and join his service. So that's a Leela which unfolds in every universe. Garuda at one point comes and joins the Lord's service. Ananta will come because at the time of creation, nobody is there. Only Lord Vishnu is there. Then Brahma is there. Then so many entities get created. So the Lord manifests his pastimes through which, through one pastime he'll get his Sudarshan Chakra, through one pastime he'll get the Kaustubh Mani. And he's not married, so he needs Lakshmi. So that's what is about to happen now. So all these pastimes manifest themselves slowly. And that's why there are so many pastimes. But that doesn't mean that before that the Lord doesn't. These are eternal paraphernalia of the Lord. And they are eternally there. So even in the material world, when the Lord appears, these paraphernalia expands spiritually for these various forms of the Lord. Serve him. Yes. So the Lord is very famous as the one who has the Kaustubha Mani. It is said on the chest of the Lord there are 2 things. There is the Kaustubha Mani and there is the Shrivatsa mark. Shrivatsa mark is the mark of Lakshmi, which was not yet there. And it is about to come now. Kaustubha Akhyam Adbhuta Ratnam Padma Ragaha Maha Udadhe Tasmin Mano Spriham Chakre Paksha Alankarane Harihi. The Lord, to decorate his chest, wanted these 2 jewels, the Kaustubha and the Padmaraga. I haven't heard much about the Padmaraga, so I do not know. Then after that, Tataha Abhavat, after that, after the Lord claimed these 2 jewels, Abhavat Parijataha, the famous Parijat flower tree. On this earth also, there is a plant of flowers, a flower variety known as Parijata. It's not exactly the same Parijata which is being spoken of here. This Parijata is considered It is so fragrant, so beautiful, so auspicious. Sura Loka Vibhushanam. And Indra took it because it increases, it is like an ornament of the heavenly planets. In fact, later, much later in Dwapar, when Krishna appeared, and Krishna went to the heavenly planet, Satyabhama had told him that this Parijat tree which is there in the courtyard of Indra, can you get it for me? Because once Satyabhama had complained to Krishna, fulfill Rukmini's every desire, what about me? What do you want? You want some jewelry? You want this? You want that? What do you want? I want Indra's Parijat. Because once when they had gone there, when Lord Krishna had returned uh, the jewelry, I think the earrings, if I'm not wrong, of Mother Aditi, which Narakasur had stolen. At that time, Satyabhama saw this Parijat tree and she told Krishna, I want. So the scriptures say, like a henpecked husband to please his wife, he went and he asked Indra. Out of his politeness, the Lord asked Indra, my wife wants this tree, and he said no. See, the devatas get so bewildered. That is why they are not pure. They get so bewildered by their opulence that they forget that actually the Lord is asking doesn't mean that he needs to ask. It belongs to the Lord already. So Indra says no. Krishna says too bad. Satyabhama wants it. I am taking it. So he just takes it and goes back, and there is a small conflict, but then Indra is kind of contained and uh, kept back. So it doesn't. Finally, he's reminded of his position. Anyway, that's how the Parijat tree actually came into Dwarka Dham. That happened, of course, much later. That is in Dwapar. These stories are from the previous Manvantara. This one is from the fifth Manvantara, Chakshusha Manvantara. So, Parijata tree came, and that's how Parijata made its way into the heavenly planets. It is said this Parijata fulfills the desires of everyone. So it's a very interesting, special, auspicious tree. Next appeared the Apsaras, very, very beautiful. Prabhupada often translates Apsaras as society girls of heavenly planets. So their main service is to dress nicely, dance, sing, entertain the devatas, charm the hearts of the devatas in a romantic manner. So that is their specific service. They are specialized in that department. So sometimes they are also called as heavenly prostitutes. So they said they were nicely decorated with golden ornaments and lockets and very attractive clothing. And when they appeared, they were moving around so beautifully. The devatas and the asuras were so charmed by the appearance. And the devatas claimed, these are ours. These apsaras are for our enjoyment. Next comes arising from the ocean of milk is goddess Rama, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, in her form as Rama. The eternal spiritual potency of the Lord, like what I mentioned, the Lord and his energy are never separated, but when they appear in this world, they meet and they get married or come together at a particular time through a Leela. So Rama Devi appeared from the churning of the milk ocean. So sometimes the ocean, especially the milk ocean, is referred to as her father. She's born from there, from the milk ocean. She appeared. And out of all the things which had appeared so far, this appearance of Rama Devi was the most exquisite. They said she appeared like electricity, Vidyat. Her effulgence surpassed that of lightning. Lightning that may illuminate a marble mountain that fades in front of the beauty of Ramadevi. Ramadevi is the goddess of fortune. All that is opulent. She is the energy of the Lord. Yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad urjitameva tattadeva vagachatvam tejansha sambhavam. Anything wonderful, opulent that you see in this world, Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita, understand it is a spark of my splendor. And the goddess of fortune is the splendor energy. She is the energy of opulence. And she herself, in her personified form there, emerging from the ocean of milk. Her youth, her beauty, her very shapely body, her complexion, so attractive that everyone in that assembly, the devatas, demons, the humans, everyone was thinking, oh, I would want a wife like this. Everyone was wanting her. Very interesting. Why they were attracted? Of course, on one level they were attracted because of her extraordinary beauty. The other they were attracted to. Who is not attracted to opulence? The whole world is attracted by opulence. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribhi. Correct? There are 6 opulences, right? Beauty, power, intelligence, so on and so forth. 6 opulences. Shannam iti ganam. The 6 kind of opulences which are the definition of the word Bhagavan. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashusha sriya. So everyone wants Lakshmi because that is the whole enjoyment of the manifested world is possible by the blessings of Lakshmi. But actually Lakshmi is not for others' enjoyment. Lakshmi is for the enjoyment and service of Lord Hari. But those who are not purified in the heart, they are not thinking, oh, all these opulences are for Lord's sake. Let me engage them in the Lord's seva. What they think, if I can get this Rama, like what Ravan was thinking, no? I want Sita. I don't want to engage Sita in Ram service. I want Sita for myself. Prabhupada says that is the demoniac mentality. So everyone was wanting to marry Lakshmi. As she came out, so extraordinary, so opulent, everyone understood she is the goddess of fortune personified. Indra immediately, because they all wanted to treat her with the respect and welcome that she deserved. Immediately, Indradev brought a nice sitting place for her so that she could sit. All the sacred rivers appeared there immediately. They came with golden water pots of pure waters from their respective rivers and offered it to Mother Lakshmi. Prithvi Devi, she collected all the most sacred, auspicious herbs and substances from earth and offered it to her as auspicious items. So this is the traditional means by which a very honorable person is received. The puja archana, sometimes even deities, may not happen every day, but elaborate deity worship. Puja archana is like this for all kinds of auspicious items. The cows came. The cows offered panchagavya, the 5 products of the cow: milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. Panchagavya. Vasanta Rutu, spring itself came. And whatever wonderful fresh items which are produced in spring. He offered it for the pleasure of Lakshmi. Great sages appeared. They started performing a wonderful Abhishek ceremony for the goddess of fortune. The Gandharvas were singing various beautiful auspicious Vedic mantras. Various dancers were dancing, musical instruments were being performed. It was like a grand reception ceremony for Ramadevi. Mridangas, Panavas, Murajas, Anakas, various kinds of musical instruments, the Gandharvas and the were playing conches and the bugles, the Gomukhas were playing, flutes were being vibrated, Meenas and other. It was a massive reception of Ramadevi. This was by far the most prominent appearance from the churning of the ocean of milk. So while Ramadevi was being bathed like this, uh, she was in her perfect poise. It says she maintained her original style. What was that style? With a lotus in her hand. This lotus was given to her by Brahma. And she was looking so gorgeous and beautiful. That's why Lakshmi Devi is also known as Kamala, because she sits on a lotus also, holds a lotus also, and very soon we'll discuss. She was carrying a garden of lotus flowers. And the Lord of Kamala is known as Kamalesh. This is my civil name, given name of the Lord. The Lord of Kamala is Kamala plus Isha. Isha means the Lord. So now she's about to marry the Lord. So that is the pastime we are discussing. The ocean appeared, and ocean is the source of so many valuable jewels. He gave her a beautiful silken yellow garments for her. Varuna came and he gave her very beautiful flower garlands. And they were so fresh and fragrant that as he was giving the garlands, those garlands were being encircled by beautiful bumblebees, which were drunk with honey. Vishwakarma came and he gave her various ornaments. Saraswati supplied a necklace. Brahma, like I mentioned, he gave her a lotus flower. The inhabitants of Nagaloka gave her beautiful earrings. So after Abhishek and all this decoration, cloth, jewelry, earrings, everything, she was so bedecked. She said she got up from the seat, the asan on which she was given this beautiful Abhishek. And it is said, holding a garland of lotus flowers. Beautiful garland of lotus flowers. She started in a very shy way, with her cheeks being shimmering with the glitter of her earrings, looking extremely beautiful, charming, and effulgent. With her very beautiful gait, she started with her ankle bells tinkling, jingling very softly. She started moving around that assembly, looking at the whole gathering, looking at all these great personalities who had gathered there. Who were all these personalities? There were Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, Siddhas, Charanas, Devatas. And she was looking around. Anyone knows why she was looking around? Why she was glancing over? Because she was sent by her father, the ocean of milk, with this garland of lotus flowers. So you go and find a suitable husband for yourself. She wanted to do she was there for her Swayambara. Swayambara means you choose the husband you want. So here she was in an assembly where everyone wanted her. But she had to choose now amongst all those who had gathered. who is a suitable person to marry her. It's very important that marriage, it is said, should happen amongst equals. Otherwise, marriage becomes married life is not usually then smooth. So devotees are encouraged to marry devotees. Yeah? Educated people should also marry people with not exactly equal, but with an intelligence level that they can relate to each other. So in marriage also various social, economic, intellectual factors are also important considerations. It's not that there are no exceptions, but generally these are important principles to consider for a stable relationship. Because generally good relationships and stable relationships are amongst those who are in the same league, so to say. It is natural. This is not a fault. It's natural, it's expected, because you want to live together with another person for the rest of your life. If they are not matching your frequency, not matching your the society that you come from, then it can be quite turbulent. So Lakshmi Devi is searching for a match, and as she looks across, the Bhagavatam says she examined the whole audience, but she could not find anyone, that whole assembly, who was endowed with all good qualities and no faults. She was looking for all good qualities and no faults. And that is why she was unable to accept any one of them as her husband. So the next few verses are about various analysis which Lakshmi Devi did in her mind as she was examining various groups of people. What are their good qualities and what are their faults, and why she cannot accept them as her husband. So I'm going to stop now because that's a very interesting section. I don't want to rush through that section. That's a very interesting section leading to the marriage of Rama and Lord Hari. So we will discuss that in the next class, and then we will continue on the pastime. Because in this very chapter, very soon after this, the Amrit is going to appear. So your wait is not going to be very long. So Lakshmi Devi's appearance was penultimate. Penultimate means just before the last. It was the final emergence is that of Amrita. So how Amrita appeared, who brought the Amrita out, that all we will. And what happened to the Amrit after that? That itself is a very interesting and elaborate narration. So we'll discuss that in the next class. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam. Any questions on what we have discussed? Wonderful. So thank you so much for patiently listening. So we'll continue our discussion the next Saturday. So have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Anand Sundari.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Tarun Prabhu, Sarvalakshmi Mataji,
Thank you,
Ananda
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sriji,
Thank you,
Sneha ji.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. Sridevi Mataji, Malaji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Archana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Sridevi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Archana ji, Leela Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Ratnavat. जय माता जी, हरि बोल। थैंक यू।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hari Bol.